Let's play Blood Bowl! Chaos teams hit hard. Really hard.
Yes, they do.
Hey, you freaking nerds! Welcome back. I know it's been forever. Don't remind me, okay? I apologize. I've been doing stuff. Look, from here on out, I'm trying to be a bit more loose and fast with the content, or fast and loose, whatever sounds less wet and gross. You know, I'm trying to be a bit more fast and loose with what we're doing, and more realistic with who I am and what I want the videos to be like. You know. To kick off this year, I want to try a bit of a different format. One I've wanted to try ever since I started commission painting. Basically break down the process of how it starts from talking to the customer, working out a paint scheme, the steps that go into making commission, and then finally getting out the door, which I think is quite cool. I've just been a bit time poor. I think I've been not putting my time where it should be spent in terms of getting content out the door. And it doesn't have to be that difficult. I think when I had drinks on New Year's, Mitch, one of my good friends, just said to me, why don't you just make stuff? And I think that's good advice. Wouldn't you take advice from a man that looks like this? I'll put up a picture of Mitch on New Year's. There you go. I would take advice from that guy. Basically, this commission is going to be talking through with Shane and talking about this Chaos Blood Bowl commission and the whole steps on how we get through to that. I think it's going to be really cool. And yeah, I hope you stick around. All right, let's get into it. The brief. Our journey begins with the brief. Shane, our client, no, not that Shane, different Shane, this Shane. He wanted something bold, a team that kind of embodies the spirit of the Green Bay Packers. So I grabbed my iPad, fired up Procreate, and sketched out a bit of a plan. Picture this, a dominant green palette accented with a striking yellow and crisp white. That's beautiful, that's hot. Preparation. So preparation's kind of key, guys, okay? What I start with most of my commissions is I basically prep them all. I'll clean off the mold lines. If you don't get your mold lines, it's kind of like keeping like the tag on a shirt. It's just if people notice it looks uncomfortable, and it's just you just want to get rid of them. You want to put in the work, get rid of them. No one's walking around with tags, guys. Get rid of the mold lines. It's gonna make it look better in the long run. Drilling holes in their feet and attaching a few millimeters of paper clips into each hole makes handling miniatures a breeze. It makes for a really sturdy point of contact for basing when you leave the paper clips in. Base coating. Next up, base coating. A black base followed by a nice zenithal white prime just from the top, okay? Just to kind of simulate, see the look on my face right now. See how I've kind of got like these sunken Neanderthal eyes? Basically, we're trying to accentuate shadows and whatnot in a miniature, okay? That's the general purpose of a zenithal prime, is to kind of, so not only you're not trying to paint black, you can see the details with the white dripped over the top. You know, it makes sense. Plus, I think for the more experienced guys out there, paint's fairly translucent in its own right, particularly weaker colors like yellow. So we can kind of use this to our advantage and allow the white to kind of bleed through the yellow, giving the effect of lights and shadows. Plus, it makes it a little bit easier to paint yellow, because painting yellow is a bit of a color to paint. I'll be honest. It's like you're there for a while doing lots of coats, particularly if you go black. There was a guy on my Discord who painted all of Gazcull black and then decided to paint him yellow. That's a big no-no. We don't like that. Painting. Look, it's kind of the fun part, okay? It's the part that I like the most is just actually getting to the painting part. I started with the skin in the green uniforms, and it was a bit of trial and error to kind of figure out where we were going with the uniform. I tried to stick as close as I could to the general iPad brief, and I think I really like the look of it. But I think as I got further down the rabbit hole, I think even doing stuff like the stripe on the helmet and the stripes on the pants. I think there's even like a black line underneath, or it was a bit more complicated in real life. But Shane and I kind of talked about that, and we kind of skipped in kind of what made sense in terms of painting a whole team of 16 people that way. The Bloodspawn. Look, with this guy, he's generally a bit flat. He's like a tad undignified. His balls are just hanging out. Well, he's non-existent balls anyway. But look, Shane and I had a talk, and we just decided to add a loincloth. I think it makes sense to add a loincloth. I don't know why the sculptor like did that. Like, I don't know why the sculptor just gave him the little Ken mound, like the Barbie doll mound. But whatever. It's anyway. Now look, at the main idea with the chains was to kind of make a story that he's essentially chained up until he comes onto the field, so he can they kind of like, you know, drag him along and kind of just bring him to games to unleash him onto the field. And look, I think if we didn't add the loincloth, he would just look like he was getting arrested for streaking or something, you know? So I think the chains plus the loincloth kind of made sense. Bases. Look, I'm a firm believer of bases shouldn't kind of overshadow the miniature. I kind of like to keep my bases like fairly simple, but kind of quite striking. If we can try and do contrasting colors, that's cool too. The only problem with this is the contrasting colors we had to play with. Look at this. You get yourselves one of these. It's a color wheel, okay? What we had to play with was green and yellow, right? And with green being the most predominant color, we kind of want to do a red, the base pot, but also that's Christmas colors, and we don't do Christmas colors ever. I don't think anyone should do Christmas colors. I think the Rabbitohs are just an ugly jersey, and yeah, we should avoid it when we can. Okay, so instead, because we're kind of on the warmer side of this color wheel, I kind of tried to stick just over here, you know, kind of like here. Does that make sense? Kind of like over here. You know, like kind of warm, kind of red. Yeah. So I felt like that looked better. So it's kind of a warm terracotta look. And we tried to basically stick as close as we could to the official Blood Bowl pitch as we could. We kind of like that theme of having, like, you know, almost like a Dungeon Bowl. The idea being that when they hit the pitch, it's meant to hurt more. I think that made sense for the Chaos Blood Bowl team. Numbers. Look, freehanding numbers, I don't know. I never got my pen license anyway, so I wouldn't be the guy to come to if it were to do with writing letters and numbers. I never graduated from pen license school, okay? So I think freehanding numbers that are like a few mil big is just always going to be tough. Look, I probably redid them about 5 times. Yeah, not even gonna lie. I'm not even putting it in the video. Some of them were just skew iffy, man. Some of them were just wacky. I think if I were to give advice, I would just straight lines, no curves. Don't make things difficult for yourself. You're trying to make a symmetrical number in the space of a centimeter. Just don't make it too hard. Final touches. And for the grand finale, look, blood, spit, weathering, all this stuff is going to take it to like the next. It's like it was here. Now, look at all that blood. Look at all the spit on him. You know, it brings it up to here. So if you're going to add all these details like tufts, dirt, spit, blood, that's going to bring it all the way right up to the top. Golden Demon, baby. That's where we're at. Maybe not. Yeah, we are. We're Golden Demon, baby. For these guys in particular, we kind of wanted to lean away from just bloodthirsty guys and kind of go for professional Blood Bowl team that kind of maybe is a bit more calculated with how they're punching. So there's blood in specific places, just not overdoing it. Kind of less is more with this sort of team. Look, on the whole, this kind of journey wasn't about just painting a Blood Bowl team. It was more about kind of embracing imperfection, enjoying the process, and kind of trying to kill my own perfectionism, because I think I get in my own way a lot. Art's fairly subjective, and sometimes the beauty is an eye of the beholder, and sometimes you don't have to be as hard on yourself as you think you have to be. And look, everybody makes mistakes, man. Sometimes I can't paint a 0 correctly. Sometimes it's kind of difficult. Sometimes the sculptor who makes the blood spawn gives him a weird genital mound, which is more uncomfortable than just sculpting a tiny little doodle on it, you know? Sometimes things like these happen. Mistakes happen. And I think it's how you learn from them that makes the experience better. So I think if there's one thing you could take away, I think don't stress, enjoy the painting journey. Every model has that ugly phase. It's just kind of getting to that end part is the enjoyable part. And look, the Blood Bowl team turned out awesome, and so did the video, right, guys? Right? Look, I'm gonna keep making videos this year. I think for less about trying to get more followers and trying to just be more passionate, more in the moment about what I'm doing. I like what I'm doing, and I want to share it more and just break down more. Because I can do it. This is pretty easy. I'm in my pajamas right now. And look, hey, if you enjoyed this video, you know what I'm gonna say, don't you? This is what the YouTubers do, okay? Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon, all that stuff that they usually say, okay? And then we gotta end with like a catchphrase. I'm thinking like, we should say something like, keep being yourself and keep those brushes sopping wet. I like that. I think I'll keep that. Keep being yourself and keep those brushes soaking wet. That's our new outro. All right, thanks guys. Love y'all.